Well, hello and welcome back to the channel again, people. Out in Loughborough town, my hometown, at a place which I know quite well. Let me just spin you around. There you go, Ford dealership called Sandy Cliffs. Sorry about the mic, I've not brought it with me. This is all on the microphone of the Osmo. So yeah, at their dealership today, this beautiful GT Mustang Mach-E, very tempting but a bit out of my price, at around 40,000. I believe it's 39 now, but hey ho, it is what it is. So let me explain why I'm here today, and that is to say that how dealerships have changed in maybe a decade. This where I'm standing now at the Ford dealership was my second home at one time. I was well into Fords back in the day, and I used their parts department, which was round the back there, a lot. I used to be in there every 5 minutes ordering parts for Ford cars. They were just a Ford dealer. You couldn't buy anything else apart from Fords. Ford cars and Ford parts. This video is all about how things have changed. I do remember Sandy Cliffs, but I don't remember Gillett's. Now, Gillett's was there before Sandy Cliffs. In fact, I believe they were a Ford dealership here in Loughborough, and Sandy Cliffs came about with two families that bought it and are now still running it. If you Google Gillett's of Loughborough, it still comes up, and it's still the same address as Sandy Cliffs. So I don't know if they're using a trading name or whatever, but very weird to me. I can remember Sandy Cliffs being a fuel station, a filling station, where you go and buy your petrol and diesel, and I used it many times, and it used to be open till about 11 o'clock at night, so it was one of those filling stations that wasn't so much 24 hours, but was always open late. So let me walk you down to the other part. This is, just tell you where I'm at. This road here is the main A6, goes into Loughborough town that way, and that is the Belton Road, and if you go down there are a lot more car dealerships. This is the biggest plot by a long way of all the car dealerships down here, and again mainly Fords, as you can see. But if I just put you up to this sign here, yes, you'll see it also says Nissan. Now, they became a Nissan dealership some time ago, and not just Ford. So yeah, it just shows how things are changing. Most of the cars here for sale at this time are used. This is the used car lot, but the new ones you think would be all Fords and Nissans. Well, no, there's another change happening. Now, we all know about the Chinese onslaught of cars coming over to Europe and especially the UK. If I just spin you around yet again, yes, as I walk past the entrance, a beautiful coloured BYD. Now, this is right next to a used MG, but let me just show you something in a moment. Who'd have thought that a Ford dealership, okay, from, you know, back in the day, my place of worship at one time, would be selling Chinese BYDs. This goes to show how the auto industry is having to adapt and change. Now, let me just walk along the front here on the main A6 road. There's a new 25 plate Tesla. Okay. First 25 plate I've seen. Back to it. What have we got? MG sign. And yes, MG cars, look. That brand new, they've still got the stickers on them. MG, and if we just cut across, sorry about the noise of the traffic and me having to shout a bit, but look, 73 plate MG, 17k, 19k, 19.6. It's gone wild. And another 23 plate there, and a lot of even the used cars now are Chinese. point I'm making about this is that when I was a young teenager just getting into cars, dealerships were dealerships. A Ford dealership was a Ford dealership. If you wanted a Vauxhall part, you went to Vauxhall. Now there was obviously aftermarket parts always available, but yeah, today things have drastically changed. So let's just go into the place itself and show you where the dealership is now for, like I say, MG, Ford, Nissan across there, and here it is the BYD showroom. This is all brand new to me. The BYD seal in there, BYD Atto, the new Sea Lion, I believe that is as well. Now they've actually got a sold sticker on that, so they are selling here, you know. I've not got a problem with Chinese cars, and I've said this from the onslaught, that I do see that they are the main future of automotive engineering. Of course, you've still got the new Ford Explorer from Ford itself, their own version, Volkswagen underneath. But again, more BYDs, been prepped, ready to go. Not going to go into the showroom, but even there you can see the next new Ford sitting on its bum, the Mach-E. How things have changed. And over here, let me just, before I go, I'll show you this one. Again, 25 plate, ready for pickup for a customer. The BYD, again. Very nice, but probably just got delivery mileage on it. But there you go. And then you've got the regular Fords back again, like I say. So it's very strange for me to take it on board that my good old familiar Ford dealership is becoming Chinese, if that's the word to use. I'm not saying they're going Chinese, don't get me wrong, they're not. Ford Explorer here, look. 74 plate, very nice in grey, and that's 36. And that's the EV Premium, 5 doors, 77 kilowatt battery, extended range, rear wheel drive. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave the Sandycliff dealership, but yeah, big eye opener to actually find out that they're actually now selling Chinese cars. But I suppose they've got to. Have they got to survive? Probably. And before I go and leave this multi-dealership, as they call them now, and I suppose that's what they are, I do like that colour. And that suits that car very much so. And I'm not anti-Chinese car, like I say, and I'm not bothered too much about these dealers swapping around and changing and becoming multi-dealers. It may be a good thing to keep prices down for us customers. Who knows? I'm just hoping that in the long term we don't say goodbye to our legacy car manufacturers like Ford and like Vauxhall and all the rest of them that we used to here in the UK. Now, Loughborough has got quite a few car dealerships actually. It's quite surprising for, it's a major town now, it's quite a large town. But even back in the day, you know, when it weren't so large, there was always a good row of car dealerships. So yeah, we'll nip down Belton Road and I'll show you the car dealerships that are down there. Okay, there's your first one. That is the Ford dealership on the left there that obviously we've been to. And again, it's like I say, it's quite a big dealership. It does go on and on and on. And then they've got their service department at the back, and it finishes about now, so a fair old good old plot. Okay, that is the Mercedes-Benz dealership here in Loughborough. Then you have TMS Loughborough Kia, which I've got all the new Kias in there, as you can see. Then as you pass that, you come to Volkswagen Loughborough, a VW, which has been there quite a few years. Then after the Volkswagen dealership, you come to Toyota, which has had a brand new full refurb in there. Not been in since it's been refurbed. All the cars went missing and parked somewhere else, and they've done it all up, and yeah, now it's a newish dealership again. Then of course you've got the Pentagon Group, which is Vauxhall. Now the Vauxhall dealership here in Loughborough used to be owned by Archie Moss. That's your Vauxhall there, which is your Stellantis cars. Before I move away from the Stellantis brand, don't forget they are also into the Chinese cars. They do have Leapmotor and a couple of others, hands in pies, as you say. Now, the Leapmotor is being sold across here. I think there's two variants, an SUV and a small little tiny car I have mentioned before on the channel. they are Stellantis cars, so maybe we might see some of these cars being sold at Vauxhall dealerships here in the UK. Now, as I pass all these sales car places, you'll notice that they only sell the cars that's badged there, i.e. Mercedes only sell Mercedes, Kia only sell Kias, etc, etc. So you have to ask yourself what's actually happened to the good old UK main dealer, who only used to do Fords if they were Ford and Vauxhall if they were Vauxhall. Well, I think they've had to change to survive. I think if they'd have stayed a Ford dealer, I don't think this big thing here on the right, i.e. Sandycliffs, would be here now. It's called Sandycliff World. Over 1,000 quality used cars in stock. And they've got some good quality used cars. I'm not knocking the group by doing this video at all. I think they're a very good group to do business with. In fact, my daughter-in-law has just purchased a Vauxhall Mocha on the 21 plate, super clean, reasonable mileage, decent price from that very Ford dealership, and she's super happy with it. And eventually there will be a full review coming up of that Mocha on this channel. 3 years late, I know, but I'm going to do it to show you how good it is on a used basis. So I think they're surviving on their used car sales, especially when it comes to EVs as well. The EV sales at the moment on the used marketplace are very buoyant, to say the least. And most dealers will tell you that. Main dealers and the smaller second-hand car market dealers will. But back to these main dealers who have changed. I don't see it as a bad thing. I hope that it will keep prices down, because let's face it, if you don't live in the right place, you won't have a dealer for a Nissan, a Ford, a BYD. You know, you have to go outside of your hometown, whereas this thing here on my right still, if I want a BYD, they've got them. I can order them from there and get full dealer backup. And I suppose it's the same with Ford and Nissan and Mazda, which are all out of that place. How different it was back in the day to what it is now. It's the same as the parts department. Do they now sell parts for all of them brands that they sell? Possibly. So, to summarise, as we've seen in this one, it seems that there's only one or two that are being very diverse. But how long will it be before Mercedes, Kia, Toyota start selling a Chinese brand next to their brand? Which will sell better? The Chinese brand or the legacy brand? It's your choice in the future, and it's choices that we as customers will have, which is a great thing. Our American friends, hello, if you're watching this, your freedom of choice with Chinese cars will be virtually zero unless they're actually made in the USA. Bit different here in the UK. We have to be honest, we probably have more freedom of choice here than you do in the USA, which is weird to me because you live in the so-called country of freedom. But anyway, that's another political subject. So yeah, good to see if they can sell 4 or 5 different brands from the same big hub, fine to me. As I said earlier, it probably bring prices down. But like I say, let's see how long it is before others start doing the same. That's it from KK and EV on this one, just so that you realise that changes are afoot. And if you're not a big Chinese car lover now, I'm afraid you're going to have to get used to it, because I still do believe, and I've said this many times on this channel, within 5 years, you're probably going to have more Chinese cars on offer than you are legacy brands. We'll leave it there. If you're not subscribed, where you've been, please hit that subscription button there for me. It does help the analytics, and we'll see you again. Thanks for watching.